cattle industry news you need to hear, market outlooks for 2025, even some Christmas gift ideas for that special someone. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and welcome to this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Earhart.
And I'm Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you goes out to our partners, ranchchannel.com. Lots of new listings on there. Check it out, ranchchannel.com. The Happy Toy Maker. If you're looking for a perfect gift, idea for that little rancher in your life, just head to thehappytoymaker.com. Jorgensen Land and Cattle. Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing us Multi-Man and Lactapro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients, bringing us Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station. So we're going to give some Christmas gift ideas this episode. I've got a pile of news to go through. So can you just kind of hang out with us for a little bit and we'll talk Christmas gifts here in a little bit?
Of course I can.
You've got some ideas. We'll share them here in just a tick. Cow country news. You know, the cow stuff. Lots coming at y'all from the newsroom. Here we go. USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, or APHIS, has elected to restrict the import of animal commodities from Mexico as it assesses the impact of a New World Screwworm, or NWS, detection in a cow in a southern Mexico state. Mexico's chief veterinarian officer alerted USDA in late November about the detection. That's according to a release from APHIS. NWS, New World Screwworm, larva, NWS larva, infest the living tissue of warm-blooded animals, causing severe infections. Producers along the U.S.-Mexico border are urged to monitor livestock and pets for NWS signs, including draining wounds and discomfort. Suspected cases should be reported to veterinarians immediately. According to Dr. Rosemary Seifert, U.S. Chief Veterinarian Officer, said, given the northward movement of NWS, APHIS has stepped up efforts in Central America to combat this pest. She goes on to say, with this detection in Mexico, we will intensify measures to protect American agriculture and reestablish the barrier in Central America. New World Screwworm infestations have spread northward in recent years, reaching Panama, Costa Rica, and now Mexico due to increased cattle movement and disrupted fly control zones. APHIS is deploying sterile flies in Central America to curb the spread. The USDA said it will continue collaborating with regional partners to contain and eradicate NWS and restore the biological barrier in Panama. Now, Mexico's president pushed back against President-elect Donald Trump's proposed 25% tariff on Mexican imports, warning it could spark a trade war, fuel inflation, and harm businesses on both sides of the border. Trump announced plans to impose tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and additional hikes on China as part of his immigration and drug policy, citing record levels of illegal crossings. Now, Mexico's president in office for 7 weeks criticized the move in a letter to Trump, emphasizing the economic risks. While Mexico's president mainly highlighted the potential impact of the automotive business, the tariffs could hurt the U.S. meat industry. The U.S. Meat Export Federation said in a statement to Meeting Place that Mexico is obviously a very valuable trading partner for the U.S. red meat industry, and duty-free access to Mexico has been an essential part for export growth. At this time, the U.S. Meat Export Federation prefers not to speculate about the imposition of tariffs and any possible retaliation. Now, according to the USMEF and their data, U.S. beef exports to Mexico for the year through September were up 13% over the year. Pork exports to Mexico were also up 7% over the year. Trump, set to take office in January, defended his tariff proposal on social media, linking it to the need for stricter immigration controls and drug enforcement. He warned that tariffs would remain until Mexico and Canada address these issues. Now, according to J.P. Morgan analyst Ken Goldman, he says while the conventional outlook is that tariffs will spark a return to inflation in the U.S. economy that will increase food prices, retaliatory tariffs also could result in a tailwind for U.S. producers who are likely to pay lower operational costs. For example, he says if retaliatory tariffs on U.S. corn increase, global demand could fall, which would reduce the price of corn for U.S. buyers who theoretically could see a positive effect to their bottom lines. Goldman goes on to say the tariffs announced by President-elect Donald Trump include an extra 10% tariff on all goods from China, which is expected to potentially affect retailers of goods other than food products. However, he says if the potential retaliatory tariffs on food producer imperatives like corn, soybeans, and wheat lead to lower prices in the wake of the decline in demand, U.S. food producers ultimately could benefit financially. He noted that because U.S. manufacturers are not reliant on corn, soybeans, or wheat for foreign trading partners, the benefits to their bottom lines from that tailwind could offset potential tariff headwinds. And now in other news, Tyson Foods is closing its beef and pork non-harvest processing facility in Emporia, Kansas. Now, according to officials from Tyson, they say after careful consideration, we have made the difficult decision to close our beef and pork non-harvest processing facility in Emporia, Kansas. Now, according to local reports, Tyson told city officials that the company would move all Emporia operations to its plant in Holcomb, Kansas, which is just outside of Garden City, as part of a larger optimization strategy to consolidate operations. The company said it is working closely with state and local officials to provide additional resources to those who are impacted. Tyson employs more than 5,000 team members across its other Kansas facilities. And since it's around lunchtime for many of you to make the stomach growl, the National Restaurant Association's 2025 What's Hot Culinary Forecast, based on a survey last month of nearly 300 U.S. food industry professionals, puts a spotlight on several new trends that are expecting to come out in 2025. They say as customers seek sustainable choices and exciting new flavor experiences, restaurants are responding with options that emphasize locally sourced ingredients and innovative menu offerings. That is according to the National Restaurant Association. For example, here are some of the top trends that they identified. Number one, an emphasis on sustainability and local sourcing. What does that tell y'all? I think that's great. Number two, the use of mushrooms. I don't know if I'm crazy about that one. I don't even know why that is on the list. Apparently, I'm missing something. Number three, they say adding hot honey to your protein applications. I don't know if that means drizzling stuff in hot honey. I'm not sure on that. We'll try that one. Beck is listening as we speak. We'll try that. And lastly, they say fermented and pickled foods is going to be one of the top hot culinary trends going into 2025. So there you go. Hot honey and mushrooms and pickles, apparently. All right, crew, time for a quick break. When we come back, we're talking some holiday gift ideas, trying to help y'all out for that special someone that you just can't figure out what to buy for this year. The Ranch It Up Radio Show will be back right after this. Keep it parked. Looking for the best way to raise beef, whether on pasture, crop residue, or in a dry lot? Choose Westway Feed Products. Westway Feed Products boost forage utilization, efficiency, and sustainability. Find your nearest rep by calling 800-800-7517 or visit westwayfeed.com. Stay connected with the crew from Westway Feed Products on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Call 800-800-7517 or go to westwayfeed.com today.
Should I sell heifers or keep some as replacements? Consider upgrading your cow herd with material instinct and stayability, all while providing that extra shot of heterosis. Look no further than Gelbvieh and Balancer Genetics. Discover the cow power with Gelbvieh and Balancer. Gelbvieh and Balancer, smart, reliable, profitable. Gelbvieh.org.
We run a lot of high milk-producing mama cows in our herd.
Mitch Kenobi of Norfolk dealt with scours in his herd.
So bad that we sent samples off to South Dakota State and Kansas State. Heard about Farmatan. As a producer, I know it's our job to limit our inputs, but when it comes to Farmatan, Dad and I don't blink an eye. It is a must for every calving season.
Adding Farmatan to your livestock's nutrition this fall will rid your new herd of scours in the spring. Go to farmatanusa.com. Call Joe Knopp at 340-3323.
RanchChannel.com, bull sales, western events, product information right at your fingertips on the ultimate cowboy-friendly platform. Want to follow up-to-date markets? RanchChannel.com. No need to dig for information on all these different websites. It's all right there on RanchChannel.com. Have you considered IVF, in vitro fertilization, in your cow herd? You need to look at your herd's full potential, and Transova Genetics is there to help you along the way. From now until September 30th, use your pregnant donor and IVF technology and receive a $100 discount. Call Transova Genetics today. Unlock your herd's potential.
Welcome back to the Ranch It Up radio show. Now, some of you have reached out and you're wondering if we are still taking orders for custom cow whips.
No, the braiding shop is closed for the holidays. I will take orders, but I'm not going to get them out before the holiday.
What?
No.
You're saying
I'm not going to get them out.
Santa's elf can't pull it off. But you do have some in stock, don't you?
Yeah, I did just during the break. I ran down just to see what we had made, and I do have 5 actually that are available. If somebody wants those, I've got a 6-footer that is navy. That's a pretty whip, I should say. An 8-footer that is kind of a green camo color, and we can send you pictures of these too if you're interested, by the way. I've got a 6-foot cow whip that's neon green, neon pink, and black. You were questioning when I braided that one.
I was.
And you said, okay, this is a beautiful whip. We've got a 6-foot all burgundy colored whip. The handle is painted to match. It's beautiful. And then I've got a 6-foot, it's green and orange, but it's extremely subtle, the green and the orange together. This is your least favorite whip because it literally looks like a garter snake.
It
outside.
does.
Yeah.
It does. It does. When you go and you bring it back through the grass, you can definitely scare somebody, making them think that one is a snake.
So if somebody wants something custom, I'll gladly braid you something, but I'm not going to get it out during the holidays. But if you want to, head to ranchitup.us. We've got some other items available if you're looking for the unique, something a little bit different. We do have some mug and strings that are available as well. I saw a pile of them down there. So head to ranchitup.us. That's a gift idea. Here is another gift idea that you brought up. You gave me a pair. I didn't even know why you gave me a pair of these. And that is ski goggles. Now, I know not everybody is in a wintry type climate or environment, but I'm always wearing sunglasses in the wintertime and they fog up and I can't see anything. Ski goggles don't.
Ski goggles are a game changer. If you already don't know this, if you are in winter climates, I don't know how you've made it all these years without using ski goggles. Anytime from if you're moving cattle and you're on 4-wheelers or UTVs.
Just walking around the yards, just doing anything. I mean, It's blowing and snowing or something like that. They're game changing.
Yes, they're always on my Christmas list, actually. I usually ask for a new pair every year.
And here is another idea. I know we always mention wild rags is a great Christmas gift for a lot of us. And I'm sure if you're like us, we've got a whole rack full of wild rags, about every color combination you can think of. What about this one? A custom wild rag.
Oh, I like it.
With your ranch's logo or something like that.
The brand on them.
You can get the brand on them. I know there's a lot of different places that will do that. If you're looking for something custom, though, for the holidays, you need to get on it like now.
That's right.
During the commercial break, you need to put those orders in. Here's something else that you brought up as a practical gift idea. I'm surprised that this did not come to my radar, and that is a headlamp. Now, we use these hiking, and you use them when you're hunting all the time, and that is a headlamp literally in every vehicle. Why not?
And that's what I'm telling you. Every farm, ranch vehicle, your daily drivers, have one of those in there. You will be so happy. The first time you have to change a flat tire in the dark, you will be grateful you have that headlamp.
And a lot of times there's not somebody with you to hold the flashlight.
Exactly.
So grab a headlamp. It's a great little stocking stuffer. I know you can get them for just literally $4 or $5, but that's a great another little gift idea, and it's practical.
So there are a few ideas for everyone. If you're looking for a few more, head to the website ranchitup.us.
Reach out with any questions. Send us an email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. You can text 707-RANCH20. That's 707-726-2420. Time for a quick break. When we come back, we're talking market recaps and a lot more right here on the Ranch It Up Radio Show. Attention cattle producers. Boost your herd's trace mineral status with Axiota Animal Health's Multi-Min 90. This injectable solution delivers essential trace minerals known to support cattle health and reproduction. Don't settle for less when it comes to your herd health. Trust Axiota Animal Health to keep your cattle in prime condition. Visit your local supplier or veterinarian to learn more about Multi-Min 90. Multi-Min 90, because healthy cattle mean a healthy bottom line.
Howdy, folks. Do you have that young cow kid in your life and trying to find the perfect gift this holiday season? Look no further than the Happy Toy Maker. Order now in time for Christmas at thehappytoymaker.com and check them out on Facebook. Toys that last a lifetime.
LivestockMarket.com. We hear from the crew at LivestockMarket.com every week. Bulls, cows, bred heifers, open replacement heifers, cow-calf pairs, feeders, and stockers, horses, pigs, goats, sheep, show stock, hay and straw, and even alpacas, all listed on LivestockMarket.com. Private treaty, online auctions, and on-site auctions. Buying or selling, gauge the market, do some research. Check out LivestockMarket.com.
And don't forget, they brought you AuctionTime.com and EquineMarket.com.
There's still lots of time to market those calves if you haven't done so already. Explore every option and add Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners to the list. With over 30,000 feeder cattle marketing annually, the Allied Genetic team works to help commercial producers get what you deserve from your extra investment in profit-focused genetics. Contact any of the Allied team by heading to AlliedGeneticResources.com. A powerful partner to have. Allied Genetic Resources.
Welcome back to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. It is that time in the program. We check in with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, recapping the markets from last week. Kind of maybe give us a little heads up on what may be coming down the pike. So, Kirk, numbers, what do you got for us?
Well, thank you, Tigger. As of Friday, November 29th, January feeder futures closed the week at $259.20. That's up $4.77.5 on the week, with the CME feeder index down 22 cents at $254.32. That left the basis at a negative $4.88 versus January. That is getting a little long in the tooth for the basis. Last week, we did have Mexico announcing, or to the USDA APHIS, that they had a world screwworm cache. APHIS responded to that by temporarily suspending ruminant imports that do include cattle. This suspension is expected to last about 3 weeks in Arizona and New Mexico, and longer in Texas because they have some difficulties with the facilities on the Mexico side. Kind of the reports I'm seeing, there's about 100,000 head of animals that move across the border into America a month. We are at the tail end of that seasonally. And discussions with some clients in Texas are reporting that they don't see a major effect by this temporary suspension. December live cattle futures closed at $188. That's up $2.15 at the week. Cash traded mostly $190 in all areas, leaving the 5-area weighted average at $434 at $189.97, and the basis at positive $1.97 versus December futures. That's fairly a normalized basis with December moving into delivery here shortly. The weekly slaughter was 528,000 head. That is a holiday shortened week. That is 100,000 head less than last week and 112,000 head less than the same week last year. It was not a holiday shortened week last year. So kind of disregard those slaughter numbers because of holidays. Choice boxes closed the week up 311 at 310.52. To wrap this up, March corn closed the week at 433 1/4. That's down 2 1/4 cents on the week. Corn continues to consolidate within a large sideways wedge.
Now, before I say fairly well and turn you loose, Kirk, we're getting to that time of year that it seems like gets awfully hard to get some business done. I mean, Thanksgiving is behind us. Now we're looking at Christmas and then the New Year's, and then it's going to be nothing or 90 is how it kind of seems that we always go at this time of year. But in lieu of that, what are some things maybe that we need to keep in mind or that we need to be thinking about that we're closing out 2024, some of those things where, okay, on the to-do list, we got to make sure that we get this done before we move into the new year?
Well, relative to the March feeding year, I'm definitely going to talk to my friends down south that typically sell those March feeders. We've got March feeder prices at very, very high levels, with puts being fairly reasonably priced for the short time frame. So for those guys, that's definitely something I want to pay pretty close attention to.
Okay.
I know one of the things on my list is I haven't bought any Christmas presents. So that's definitely something I need to be wrapping up here shortly.
Oh, God dang it, Kirk. You need to get back out there and get the credit card of smoking. Hey, what about what are bred heifers selling for in your part of the country? You and I, we always talk about this, and I always lose my mind at this time of the year watching these bred heifer prices. What have they been going for in your area?
I think you can say, pasture bred sort of thing is definitely pushing $3,000 for the fancier AI bred sort of animals coming from a registered operation. Commercial animals, but coming from a registered operation, you're definitely pushing $3,500 for a bred heifer.
And I think this year gets a little complicated in a way because with prices being what they are. There's been so many different monkey wrenches that have been thrown into this that $3,000, if I'm selling commercial breds, that's awfully attractive. If I'm buying commercial heifers, we're trying to find bargains, of course. So there's always two sides to the scale on that. But we really need to look at some numbers really of how do we make those, and I'm talking commercial breds and I'm picking on them because I do this time of year. But we really need to be running some numbers on that of how to make them work and really stretching out. And that's what kind of the tough thing is for those of us that live at the end of dirt roads is because we're talking about managing grass. And it's one of those where, most of us that are listening, I'm going to say that we have to rent a fair amount of ground or we got to rent some grass or whatever the case is. And if we lose that land, we a lot of times never get it back as part of your program. So in that situation, we might be forced into paying those prices for those bred heifers to rebuild up our cow herd. But man, I tell you what, we really need to be putting pen to paper and figuring out how to make them work.
I think you're absolutely right. And the concern on these $3,500 bred heifers is absolutely valid. Unfortunately, the other side of what you just stated is also true. Sometimes you can't go without them, and they're going to cost what they cost. The open market determined that. So I think the only variable I know of that you can kind of manage and manipulate it a little bit is how many of them you buy. If you want top end stuff, it's going to cost you $3,500 in Montana. That's just the way it is. But maybe you don't buy quite as many, or maybe you don't run fully stock, but you do increase your numbers to some degree.
So people with questions, Kirk, they want to get a hold of you, visit with you, maybe open up an account, start some different things, find out about your services. How's the best way to get a hold of you?
My phone number is 406-301-8139, or you can send me an email at kirk.donsbach@stonex.com.
Hey, Mark Vanzee with LivestockMarket.com. This week I have two fantastic production sales to tell you about. Friday, December 13th, Richardson Angus Ranch of Belfield, North Dakota, will be selling 110 coming 2-year-old bulls out of industry-leading sires such as Sense Incentive, Moen Stats, Square B Atlantis, Square B True North, HA Cowboy, and more. Also featuring several ET brothers from top cows in their herd. And then on Saturday, December 14th, Omdal Angus of Piedmont, South Dakota will be offering 100 Angus bulls, 30 registered females, and 50 commercial bred heifers that are AI bred to Steadfast. You can view and bid both these sales online along with others on LivestockMarket.com. From the homepage, just click on On-Site Auctions to view all the upcoming production sales. Do you have a production sale coming up? Learn more about Livestock Market's easy and affordable online bidding services by visiting LivestockMarket.com or give us a call at 844-775-4762 today.
As ranchers, we talk a lot about how technology can benefit our own operations, but how is it benefiting the rest of the industry after those cattle leave our ranch? Hey, I'm Shaye, and I'm the host of the Casual Cattle Conversations podcast. I sat down with Brianna Boozman to talk about how automation and new technology is being implemented into packing plants. Here's a little piece of our conversation.
At the plant, there are, in an average plant, probably 15 to 25 people who their job all day long is looking for their one meat cut. They take it off of a conveyor. It's been vacuum sealed. They put it in a box. They fill a box, push that heavy box onto the line to get weighed and go into inventory. An example of that, I got talking to a guy on the line, and he had worked in that facility for over 20 years, always in pack off, and he was responsible for boxing the clods. And that piece that he packed every day was about 18 to 25 pounds. This facility did about 2,500 head of cattle per day, so 2 of those per animal, so he was boxing close to 5,000 pieces every day. And that one guy would box every year over 18 million pounds of beef, which is roughly enough to feed the population of Orlando, Florida, or over 330,000 people.
Listen to the full story by searching for Casual Cattle Conversations on your favorite podcast player. Happy ranching, folks.
And now that's going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to your Shaye Wanner with Casual Cattle Conversations, Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, Mark Vanzee with LivestockMarket.com, and the boss lady, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck. A big thank you goes out to our partners, RanchChannel.com, The Happy Toy Maker. Sales going on as we speak. Head to thehappytoymaker.com. Jorgensen Land and Cattle, Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing us Multimin and Lactapro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients, bringing us Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, and this fine radio station. And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to follow and like us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. You can call and you can text 24/7. That phone number is 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger and Beck approved. Stay ranchy and ranch it up.